What's up, my dudes? Got the big old booter. So just a little safety tip for you guys. If you try to sleep on a couch with a girl and the couch is not even big enough for one person, you're probably going to break your neck. So yeah, dog, just a little tip for you. A little something I figured out the other night. So god dang, dude, like my back is hurting. Feel like I've been motocrossing or something, but I haven't at all, and that's a really big problem. My life sucks right now. God, I hate when I haven't been riding in real life. It's like the worst feeling ever. But yeah, this track right here is about Insanity Pastrana Lunar Oasis level. Pretty unhittable jump faces unless you are like a 7-time champion here. So but I mean, it's a fun track once you get it down here, but it's one of those, like, if you haven't been playing this game for at least a year, I would say, you're going to have some major difficulties. Don't worry, guys. I can hit 3 700-foot jumps in a row, but when you throw down a speckle of roughness, I'm dead instantly. So, but yeah, I thought that was pretty hilarious, hitting all these massive jumps over here, and then there's like one little braking bump, and then I just completely wad the bike up. But this jump right here is humongous, super long, downhill, like free floater, free riding style jump right there that you got to be really careful on. A lot of the jump faces on this track, I mean, I know the track is called Big Booters, but like, that's kind of, you know, it definitely means it. Like, these motherfuckers are kickered out, weirdly built jump faces. It's not like just a smooth transition into the air. Like, you got to be really careful on a lot of this stuff right here, because it's built so like abruptly and bizarrely that, bizarrely, is that a word? I don't know, but you got to be so precise on these jumps, man. They're just so freaking big. It's just unreal level. Yeah, I don't really know what to say here. It's just a wild track, dude. It's a lot of fun, super fast. Now, as far as an actual track rating, I'm not really sure if this was this dude's first track. He probably said that in his description of the actual track on the forum page. Not really sure. Completely ignore these 3 random crashes that I had on absolutely nothing right here. I don't know if this was his first track or what's going on here, but by the looks of it, it definitely looks like somebody's first or second track or something like that. Now, don't get me wrong, the jumps are a ton of fun. It's a cool, different style of a track like that. It really is. It's something that you don't experience every single day in this game, but you can just tell by like how the off-track stuff is built, and not only that, but the on-track as well has a very just very different kind of feeling, in the sense of like, you can just tell it's like somebody's first day on the job or something, kind of, sort of, you know. That's kind of what it feels like. I mean, it's built pretty good in areas, but like there's some areas that are just super flat, and you completely lose your realism factor. Not to mention, every single jump launches you about 700 feet into the air. But, you know, realism. Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure, dog. But, no, it's hard to explain it. But, like, just the way some of the transitions and stuff are built, they're like super, super basic. That whip right there was crazy for me. That was one of those where I whipped it all the way to the apex, and then it started to like go back the other way, but I still brought it back around. Let me back that up a little bit. I just have to show you guys that. That was one of the coolest feelings. If this jump wouldn't have been built that big, there's no way I could have done that. But like, watch. So I whip it, and then it starts going back the other way, and usually when it does that, you're fucked if you're not basically right about to land. And I wasn't, but what I did was I kind of like, I brought it back around again. So I was like, I whipped it, it started going the other way, and then I brought it back around again. I've like never really done that before on a jump. So, but yeah, I mean, you can just tell by the off track, super flat style, super basic tree billboard designs here. And even the jump designs, I mean, I know they're just like big, you know, have fun style jumps, but you can just see it that it's just a pretty basically designed track from the core of it. Like, every aspect of it is pretty basic like that. it reminds me of some of my really early on tracks that I used to make, where, just so many flat areas of the track, and that's kind of the way it is. So, and as far as all the other parts of the track, off-track wise, it's just, there's just not much there. There's not much terrain formations. There's kind of this somewhat of a natural hillside kind of thing going on over here, but everywhere else it's just perfectly flat. So, it definitely more of a basic style of a track. Even though it's fun, there is a lot of fun factor here because the jumps are crazy. As far as like an overall rating, I'm going to have to give it a 4 overall. That's just the honest truth, man. And it's hard to even like explain to you what aspects would have made it better because you're just still at like too much of a basic level of track making to even like explain what you have to do. I don't know. I sound like such a dick probably saying that. And I'm not even saying I'm the best track maker ever and I'm like Mr. Know-It-All about custom tracks and stuff, but you can just see it, dude. Like I can just see it. Like this is somebody's first or second track or something like that. So, the only thing I can really tell you, the best thing I could tell you to help you track making wise is just keep doing it. That's the only thing that's really gonna, that's a lot of times, I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of times that's how you learn stuff, is you just do it more. You just like continue to do it and figure out what works out better and how to do certain things better. And the best way to do it is to self-teach yourself and learn by your own sort of thought processes and the way you like to do things, so that by the end of it, you've got your complete own style and nobody else can really do it like you. And that's a really cool thing that I've found with anything in life when you're trying to learn it. Do it your own way, learn it on your own so that you develop your own ways of doing it and you don't just look like the cookie cutter everybody else that does it. You have a different style to it. And that's something I feel like if that's one thing about me with my YouTube channel, custom tracks, music, all of my shit, it's my own stuff. It's not like anybody else. It's not, and above anything else, that was probably one of the most important things that I wanted to try to accomplish, was to make something different and be something different and try different styles out. And it came with a lot of hate, and fuck you haters still, that's a FYI. So that's just kind of what you have to deal with when you're doing that stuff. And I love track makers, and I have to give this guy some credit right here because he made something crazy. He made something different. I know it's going to sound like I'm giving him a lot of backlash, but it's not for the actual the style of the way the track's made. That's not why I'm giving it such a low rating. It's because I think it's something cool and different, but it's just, there's just not like, the quality is not there in the track. That's the only way to really explain that, but I love to see people make stuff that's not just the same cookie cutter JWMX style track out there, and I love you, JWMX, we're fucking bros, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like JWMX, he just makes that standard, not too big jumps, standard roughness. Oh shit, I hit my computer. Standard corners, everything's standard. Everything's like kind of medium skill level. And that's how JWMX likes to do his stuff, and he does a lot of tracks like that. And so that's what I mean by most people just go down the JWMX track building route, and they're not going to have a lot of hate because it's kind of hard to hate on something that's basically made for any skill level of rider out there. So, and I see why a lot of people do that, but I just want to say, don't be scared to do something crazy different. So that's why I have to give this guy that made this track right here mad props for doing something like this. You don't always see tracks like this. Now, this section right here, this reminds me a lot of my tracks where I was like, oh shit, I can't even get back on the track. Some of my tracks, especially Trippy SX, if you launch off of that bitch, you can't get back on the track at all. Like, at all. So, you got to be really careful on it. You definitely got to hoss down a little bit when you're doing the quads through the corners and stuff. But, yeah, man, shout out to you for making something different, like I'm saying, but it's just, you'll find your quality over time, and you'll figure out some different stuff with terrain building, and you'll figure out ways to make it look more realistic, and you'll figure out ways to basically like meld the very edge of the track with like trees and billboards and stuff, where it all looks realistic and it doesn't just look like the map ends out there. You'll figure out ways to do that better. And so, I mean, basically there's nothing I can tell you to help you that much. You've got the style down, you've got the doing something different down part, and that's the most important part. The quality and the actually making all that kind of shit better, that just comes with time. You just learn like little tricks, and you know what looks good and doesn't look good. I mean, you probably know in your head like, oh hey, this is just a pretty standard looking track. Like, it's not the best track ever, it's not, and you probably know that in your mind. You just probably don't even know how to go about making what you want to make in your head yet. That's a big aspect I think a lot of people don't understand. It's not so much that the track maker purposely made it that certain way, it's the fact that they're limited in their mind because they just don't even know how to go about making it any better than they currently did or do. And a lot of that is just lack of doing it, you know, lack of actual, basically like seat time of track building. You just haven't done it that much, and that's my you know, best assumption of what's kind of going on here. I just feel like, you know, eventually you'll get it just the more you work at it and the more you do it. But jumps are a lot of fun. I mean, they're crazy. They're fucking booters. It's big booters in this bitch. So, you know, it's definitely... Oh, shit, I never even thought about that. You could probably hit this right here and huck all the way over. Damn. I don't know if that jump face would actually be big enough, but I never even, like, seen that or thought about that until I came in this view right here. You would probably be cutting the track a little bit, but maybe not. I know if it was an RF track, you would definitely be cutting like 30 seconds off of just that little bitty corner right there. Oh, fuck no, we're not going to let you do any sort of transfer jumps at all. But yeah, this jump right here, man, it's a lot of fun. You can just see, oh, these fucking booters, man. You hit these jump faces like so fucking gnarly, like so fast. You hit the whole track so fast, like you do everything so fast, that it's just, you know, if these jumps weren't built 1000% perfectly, they would feel weird anyways. And the fact that I think he's more of a beginner jump builder, it definitely makes it interesting when you're just, you know, slamming against these jump faces. They're definitely booters, dude. Definitely kickers. A lot of these, you got to be prepared for the jump face. If you want to practice on hitting some weird kickered out jump face booter style stuff, this is definitely the track for you right there. Jumping over some trees, but it's one of those, man, you might get super frustrated with it. Definitely Pastrana difficulty. Every single jump on this track is at least like 150, 200 foot style. Some of them probably more like 300 foot. This one right here is probably... That right there, holy shit. Oh, my God, the airtime, bro. Look at this. You come off that one, okay? God, I can't keep the camera still. Holy shit. It's like 10 seconds of airtime. Don't worry, dog. You'll live. Then you got this jump right out of the corner. So hard to hit. I had some trouble hitting it right there. Came up short. But either way, yeah, man. Can definitely be super frustrating, but a lot of fun if you love these big jump style, unrealistic type tracks. So anyways, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.